I'd like to introduce our conductor. Kevin Noe is Artistic Director of the Pittsburgh New Music Ensemble and founder of Heretic's Guide of Musicianship, a professional development organization dedicated to strengthening the skills, imagination, and courage of musical leaders everywhere. A passionate promoter of the arts of our time, Noe has commissioned and premiered over 100 new works to date. With a background in the theater, he serves regularly as writer, stage director, singer, actor, and filmmaker for a variety of mixed media productions. As an audio and mixing engineer, Noe is bringing new ideas to the world of classical music, performance, and recording. With binaural sound technology and a live audience in the headphones, he has developed an immersive and expressive recording and performance paradigm that brings live listeners into the heart of the musical story. As an engineer, he is currently working on projects with Sandbox Percussion, the Pittsburgh New Music Ensemble, and composers Amy Beth Kirsten, Stephen Bryant, Chris Cerrone, Jim Boberly, Gilda Lyons, and Kevin Putz. Noe has worked regularly with the Michigan State University, the University of Texas at Austin, the National Repertory Orchestra, the Pittsburgh Symphony, Duquesne University, the Pittsburgh Opera, the Melbourne Conservatory, the Oberlin Conservatory, SUNY at Storybrooke, the Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University, and he has conducted all state and honors orchestras all across the United States. A devoted conducting teacher, Noe's students have held positions internationally with professional orchestras, conservatories, and universities all around the world. As a nationally recognized teacher on the art of score study and interpretation, Noe's annual score study interpretation, leadership, and conducting retreats are attended by musicians from around the world. In addition to all of this, he's currently working on his first book entitled A Heretic's Guide to Musicianship, Courage, Heresy, and the Lost Art of Interpretation. It is my honor to introduce our 2025 SCSBOA Symphonic Orchestra conductor, Mr. Kevin Noe.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'd like to say a thank you to Brad and Whitney and Cash and all the folks who have made this possible, especially, of course, the parents who made this incredible evening possible. This is not an evening. This represents countless hours of shepherding them to and from lessons, rehearsals, outfitting them, paying for instruments, letting them know that you love them when they're low and they feel like they're not playing great, but they really are. So let's just have a quick hand for the parents who make this all possible. This is only my second time to conduct in California. I did an all-state a few years ago, and now this, and it's clear that in this state there are some unbelievably gifted and caring music educators spread all over the place. And without them, none of this is possible. Please give it up for the music educators. I think we have one more piece, one more little ditty. Just a little nothing or other. Along those lines of how fantastic the music education is here, I must say most schools, most high school level musicians wouldn't even dream of trying to put on a movement of a Mahler symphony. That's sort of for the pros, and that we've even mounted such an effort is a spectacular testament to what's going on in this state. It has been such a joy to work on this monumental piece with these incredible musicians. I want to say about that I think I know that there are people that think playing an orchestra is old-fashioned. It's like, oh, you play music of hundreds of years ago and this and that and the other. It's all old-fashioned. And honestly, I think in the world we find ourselves in right now, where we have a tendency not to listen to each other, because that's hard to do at times, we can't do anything if we don't listen to each other. We basically met yesterday. Well, not the horns, that's clear. But we basically met yesterday, and we've managed to mount this spectacular effort for you, in fact, by listening to each other and compromising. So it may be old-fashioned, but in many ways I find it one of the most progressive things happening. I'm so glad that you have your students doing this kind of thing so that we learn to work together to make something beautiful for you. Thing, put your hands up if this is your first time ever hearing any part of a Mahler symphony live. Look at this. How cool is that? Well, it's just easy. No big deal. Not even sure what to say about it, except that Mahler attempts to, in every work that he writes, he attempts to embrace the whole of humanity and the whole of the universe's expression, and find in it, in the friction between life and death, in between achievement and, or striving for achievement and kind of peace. This tension between these two issues is where Mahler resides. There is tremendous friction in this music, and there's tremendous serenity in this music. And finding each one of those things, Mahler spent his whole life doing. Thank goodness he did, because he's given us an incredible journey for the last 2 days, and one that lasts about 24 minutes or so for you now. Believe it or not, high school students are about to play for you the first movement of Mahler 2, the Resurrection Symphony.